Okay, you guys, we're gonna repot this vintage YSL into one of these tubes. And then we're going to make a custom lipstick blend. So I'm so excited. Stay watching if you wanna see how I do this. This is a 1980s lipstick that I want to be able to use. So we're not gonna waste it. We're gonna save it and repot it in a component that will just keep it safe.
Okay, you guys, let's get insane. We're going to start by decapitating this lipstick. This is a vintage 1980s lipstick, like I mentioned. The formula is honestly super glassy and stunning. I love it. So I wanted to keep it. I don't think I'm going to wear this again. And somebody else has worn it before. But I just think that it would be fun to keep. And I don't know, see how it ages. You know, it's from the 1980s. I don't have anything like that. So I just want to keep it. I don't want to throw it in the trash, but I also want to be able to use this beautiful packaging. It's heavy, it's gold. I want it to clink around in my purse with my Dior atomizers. It's too good to rot. The blue liquid you saw is Cinema Secret's brush cleaner. It cuts the grease in makeup like nothing else. It's so good for cleaning brushes. If you stain makeup on carpets, you can use it to get stuff out. Sometimes I use non-makeup stains and I work on it with Cinema Secrets and it works. It's amazing. So now we're melting it down on the Z-Potter. The component is now clean. It took some time. Low and slow heat is always best for the Z-Potter. I believe this was on a 2 or a 3 max and it still started smoking. I don't know why. Oh wait, it was on 4. Okay, that's my bad. It should never be on 4, but maybe I was getting impatient. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I honestly couldn't say. You learn the rules and then you break them. So it was smoking. I poured it anyway. No lipstick is going wasted in this household. So we'll pour it into the mold. You must grease these molds before you use them. So there's a bit of castor oil in there already. And now we're gonna go on, let that sit for about 30 minutes and move on to our next mix. I'm gonna swap this dish out and we're gonna start doing our custom color. So I have 3 Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks here, which is interesting because Charlotte has been copying well, I shouldn't say copying, inspired by the YSL Jewel Ecrin collection. You can tell in Charlotte's new launches, they look just like the YSL 1980s collection. So why not put some Charlotte in there and give a nod to that girl as well. The first shade was Penelope Pink. Funny enough, it's an orange lipstick. It's a pale orange if you ask me. This one is Red Carpet Pink. And the last one we'll use is called Icon Baby, and it's more of a brown. None of these 3 shades are a perfect color for me. I always am mixing them into other things. Icon Baby is the closest color that I can wear alone, but more as a lip liner color. And I feel like the 3 of these have the potential to be really good when mixed together. And I'm also going to tweak it a little bit with some bronze mica and some pigment drops. So here is once all the lipstick is scraped out. I tried to get all the product from the sides and hopefully didn't miss any, but there was more than enough for 1 tube. It ended up making about 1.5 lipsticks. Just melting it down slower now. I learned my lesson from the first time and we're grabbing that gold mica. This and the pigment drops are from TKB. They have some cool DIY makeup supplies if you're interested. And then this mixer is what we used when I did permanent makeup. Once I did tattoo my eyeliner on YouTube before I even really YouTubed. So that video had a number of hits, which was funny. Now we're gonna drop in our pigments. So white, brown, and blue. I wanted to cool this down, cut some of that pink, and I didn't want it to get too dark with the brown and the blue, so I added some white to mix it up. The tin gets really quite hot, so I always have to hold it with a tweezer, and you have to keep it on the heat or else the pigments won't melt into the formula and they'll just kind of swirl, and then as you apply it there will be chunks of color. So you really have to focus on getting it mixed and mixed and mixed some more. every now and then I'll swatch it and see what my color looks like. The first one is the original. The second is how it looked after we added pigment. And now I'm doing more white because it was a little bit too dark for me. I'm going for a shade that's like my lips but better, more of a lip liner shade. I want almost my lip color, but a little bit darker and a little bit cooler. Now we're ready to pour, and again with the tweezers, must have. And I actually overheated this because the first time I poured, I cut the clip, but it solidified too soon. So I couldn't really win today. The first time it hardened and I had to scrape it out of the mold. The second time it was frickin' boiling. So happy medium. It needs to be nice and hot so it doesn't solidify mid-pour, but it shouldn't be so hot that there's bubbles in it because then those bubbles are gonna live in your lipstick. This also shouldn't happen. It should have stayed in like the red one, but it's totally fine. It's a good teaching moment to show you that it's not a big deal. We can still get it inside the packaging. We'll start with the red lipstick. All you do is you just connect it. So you gently push the lipstick tube onto the lipstick, and then you can twist it like a dash, a tiny little bit, and then pull it out, and it should just fit right in. And this one came out the best. It was perfect. You can see there's a little castor oil on it because you have to oil those molds. I'm always scared and I overdo the oiling, but you can see if there's not enough oil, it'll get stuck in weird ways. This has actually never happened to me, but it was totally fine. I just gave it a little push, a little help from the bottom, and then I ended up just picking it up and pressing it into my tube. And yeah, it was perfectly fine. You can also feel it'll kind of push into itself and you'll know when it's time to stop. And it was perfect. It looked a little busted because there were bubbly holes from the heat being too high. If the heat's not right, you won't get a super smooth lipstick. I'm pretty type B about this because if you've seen anybody's used lipstick ever, it never looks gorgeous. And the packaging really shines on this one. Nobody's gonna see those imperfections. I mean, I just doubt it. And the swatch was beautiful. I was actually super happy with the color. It is stunning. It's kind of like a better Icon Baby because I do like that color, but it just wasn't perfect, and now I feel like it is. Now I'm gonna try to swatch this red for you, but to be honest, it's so sticky that when you try to swipe it, it sticks to the skin and feels like it's gonna break. So this is the best that I can do. There is a video of me trying this on in short format. Maybe I can link that below. If I forget, please remind me in the comments. Now we'll go ahead and pop this last little bit. This is like half a lipstick. We just don't want it to go to waste. It's Charlotte Tilbury, so expensive, right? And it's a custom blend, which is kind of fun. So I'll probably keep this one at home to use or at my boyfriend's house so that I can have 2 of these. And then the green one is definitely going to live in my purse. Shove it in there. See, things don't always work out perfectly, but they still work. Like you can pop it in. It's not supposed to be half filled because it can get stuck, but it didn't. And that's what matters, right? Here's all 3. This sparks joy. And next we're going to try it on.
Let's give it a try. Perfect. It's perfect.
And that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you for the next one. Let me know if you like this long form depot. You have been asking, so here it is.